Thanks for watching. Please take this time to join the notification gang.
NSFW. Gone wild posters who show their face. What do you do for a living? Has it ever been a problem at work? I'm a marketing manager for a company I've been with for almost 8 years. I've posted a good 15 face photos over the years, alongside a ton of body only posts. I'm on my 3rd username, but about 4 years ago one of my coworkers found me on Reddit. Everyone else in the company got a look, including the owner. Alas, I'm still here. I'm managing the bleep out of some marketing. There was a GW Plus poster that I recognized at a hospital. It was kind of surreal to wake up and look and see a poster from a website I visited. I never said anything to her, but she looked even prettier in person. She hasn't posted on her Reddit account in months, which sucks. Hope she's doing okay. I'm a PA for a photographer, and I do doggy daycare in my home. It actually helps with my PA work, and so far only one dog owner has recognized me. However, it did cause issues at a past job. I used to work at an in-home daycare. One of the parents discovered all my stuff. They pulled their kid from daycare and threatened to call the cops. I had done nothing illegal and all my photos were taken when I was off work. My boss couldn't just fire me because she had known about me posting beforehand. So she just kind of made things hell for me until I quit and moved to a different state. Not GW but FetLife. I started a new job as a supervisor at a clinic about 2 weeks ago, and on day 2, one of the techs in the back handed me a post-it note that said FetLife. I was brand new and caught off guard, so I just kind of laughed it off and said something to the effect of "oh yeah ha." I was growing a little concerned because he started making an effort to flirt and behave unprofessionally with me, but then he was suddenly fired for God knows what by the doctor, so the issue kind of resolved itself. I have a regular Monday to Friday 9 to 5 office job and a waitressing side job in a relatively big city. I have had a few coworkers at my restaurant job discover my Reddit posts, but it has not negatively impacted me in any way at work. They're just curious as to why I do it, say it's neato, I'm so comfortable with doing it, then move on with life once they get a satisfying answer. A little off topic, but the only time I felt like it's affected me in any way in regards to my job was when a user on Instagram found out it was me and proceeded to try and find me in the city. He succeeded in finding out what restaurant I worked at and followed me home one night when I was dismissed from work, which is usually around midnight. I actually didn't know he followed me home until I discovered the next morning he had messaged me on Instagram to come outside. He had entered the backyard after me and was standing there in freezing cold winter weather, waiting for me to come out. I did not believe it, that is until I found out he was caught on the security camera. It absolutely terrified me because I live by myself in a basement suite and it was my landlord who showed me the footage. I still have the footage from when it was caught too, and I'll upload that once I find it on my phone. I've changed the privacy setting on my Instagram since, deleted all the posts that fully showed my face and just stopped posting my full face on Reddit entirely. Though, if you knew me IRL, the bottom of my face is a dead giveaway apparently. I'm a dude. I've done webcamming on Chatterbot for like 5 years or so. Not enough to make a living, but enough for some extra beer money, or whatever. I made sure that my Chatterbot username has no real point ties to my real name, and as far as I know, nobody in my real life knows I do it. So as of now it point hasn't affected me in any way whatsoever. However, if you Google my Chatterbot username, my face pops up all over the place, so that's not great. I'm suspecting it will come and bite me in the ass later in life, but there isn't anything I can do about it now. My wife, for a little bit, before we got married, did cam modeling to make a bit of extra money. She posted on Reddit a few times for exposure, never on GW though, since they don't allow advertising. There was a guy at work who started getting really weird around her, and she wasn't sure why. Upon mentioning it to another coworker, they told her that he recognized her on Reddit. It wasn't ever brought up again after that though, and she stopped modeling shortly after, partly BC of this incident. Sorry, I guess that story was kind of anticlimactic, but most true stories are, I suppose. In retrospect, I was a little reckless in both username selection and comment replies. Multiple attempts at blackmail, people not believing I was the male, and trying to get more nude/personal videos, and threatening to tell my boss. I'm an electrician that works for a family-owned company, my boss doesn't care. Lucky, I guess. Affected new relationships, past relationships, the occasional stranger. Once someone local finds out, they share, it spreads. I deleted as much of my content as I could about 2 weeks ago, we'll see how it goes. I'm a GW poster who only shows part face, and not full face, because I know that it would seriously jeopardize my future career endeavors. My current job already required an extensive background check and it really re-emphasized that idea. Ours probably would not be accepting as well lol. When discussing/conversing with clients, it would jeopardize my credibility if they knew about my GW posting. My intention for posting on GW type subreddits is that I enjoy the exhibitionistic aspect. This is already satisfied from what I already post, no face. Though I'm sure I could be more popular if I showed face, there's not a good enough reason for me to justify jeopardizing my career. However, I've had the pleasure to get to know various lovely GW posters who show face, and a number of them use sexels, clip sites, many vids for example, cam sites, etc. to make a living. Not on Reddit, but online we found lingerie pictures and half nudes of our teacher. When I was back in high school everyone knew but no one asked her, for obvious reasons. However, because it was on a photography blog I guess it could have passed as being artistic work and the school didn't bother about it. I'm a nurse. So far, no one has admitted to knowing I post, and I made it a strict rule that no one I casually interact with will ever know that username. Taking booty pics by night, saving lives by, also night. I used to actually post some on Lady Boner's GW, and was actually received very kindly. I had a lot of DMs, and was actually really liking it. However, later on when I got a girlfriend I figured it would be best to stop doing that as she would not be a fan of my pictures online. It's just weird, because I felt a lot more confident from people telling me such kind things about my body, especially when I don't have a great image of myself. And also, I'm not currently in a career job right now, so it wasn't so much an issue with work relations or anything like that. I worked with a lady who had done videos of herself doing the cake farts, meatloaf farts, peanut butter farts, etc. She's pretty nice, and it was very surprising to find out. Especially since we worked together in childcare. No one there really cared what she did on her own free time. We just all giggled about it a lot. When I see her grocery shopping, I do find myself wondering if she plans on farting on anything she's bought. I'm getting my PhD, though I have a few side jobs as well, and it's never been a problem for me at work. I research porn for a living, so posting it is hardly likely to affect me much. I work in hospitality, and most of my coworkers know what I do on the side. Mostly we joke about it, and I share my successes, as well as rant about all the silly messages I get. I've had one customer pull me aside very politely to tell me he had seen my nudes online. He genuinely wanted to make sure they were posted with my knowledge. It was quite heartwarming. I wouldn't be surprised if there were a few more customers who recognize me and are too shy to say anything. I love the exhibitionism, so it's all good with me. I had a friend who was a Redditor. She was your typical shy, awkward type personality. She was a receptionist. I found her in Gone Wild when I was feeling it, but it completely killed my mood. It wasn't anything big, just her unbuttoning her shirt, to show her bra and boobs. I didn't want to confront her about it because that would have been awkward as hell, but the post was later deleted and I saw in her Facebook that she had been fired. And I'm pretty sure it was related. I mean, she was hardworking and there wasn't any good reason to fire her. Unfortunately, she killed herself later. It was found in her suicide note that she had been blackmailed for sex and that was her main reason. I will always miss you, Sharon. Edit. I have been getting a lot of replies talking about how sad this is. Girls, and even guys, please do not post sexual photos of yourself where somebody can identify you. People's lives have been ruined because of this. Don't make the same mistake. I hired one of the ladies. She was fantastic, confident, intelligent, and capable. Her interviews, including panel portion, were strong. As it came to make the decision, a gentleman came to me privately and said he does not think she would be a good fit for the company. He told me about the pictures and said all of the guys at work have seen them. I was a bit taken aback. I worked for a company that proudly labeled itself socially conscious. The employees were proud of their diversity and inclusion, as we should. But it seemed these guys were immature and their open-mindedness only went so far. I was extremely disappointed in them, not her or the pictures. I hired her and made it clear to ours the actions of the guys. No way was it going to be held against her. Luckily it was not. She did great. Was promoted several times and an awesome asset to our team and company. I've posted to GW several times. Edit. On another account. Don't get excited, but never showed my face. However, I was a cam model for about 6 months and a stripper for about 6 months before that. It's not yet been a problem, except that my brother found out because he snooped on my old Reddit profile. He was cool about it though. Anyway, I literally spend an hour or more a day DMCA takedown requesting my old cam vids that people recorded. Which means endlessly scouring porn sites for videos of myself. I post in NSFW subs, and I don't use a throwaway. My Tumblr got passed around, and when confronted about it, I just sort of shrugged it off, like I have boobs, I guess you know what color my nipples are now. It's never been an issue at work really. Everyone's really nice about it that knows. I work at a video game store, and I'm sure others have found mine that is, but as I said, I'm sex positive and body positive. If they misbehave it just reflects poorly on them. A lot of them make money here on Reddit, or with other sites. Sex sells, some people just want one specific girl, to do one specific porn. I met an Australian girl who was an escort before she joined the Australian army. According to her, most European countries are not as uptight about the cardinal sins of being naked. I've thought about what would happen if nudes of me leaked out, and other than my own embarrassment I'm pretty sure I'd be fine. I'm an adult, I work with adults, and if someone harassed me over the pictures I could just take them to ours. We all get naked every day, it's really not a big deal. Edit. I know Australia is not Europe. As an English speaker, I'm just stating that Europe, America, and Australia are some of the largest colonies that have equal development and similarities from my perspective. Blanket statements are bad. Learn from me.